Daring in Lusaka was never part of her plans.
We were supposed to come to Zambia for only 2 years.
But 11 years later, she is the talk of the town. Yes, this week, Hannah Njoki Rotsland shares her journey from stay-at-home mom to budding entrepreneur and how she is bringing a Kenyan touch to the land of the Chipolopolo.
The whole idea was to just try and document what I was learning in Zambia and what I had.
It's been 11 years since Hannah Njoki Rotsland landed in Lusaka, Zambia, a decision that had everything to do with matters of the heart than entrepreneurial or professional growth.
My husband was working here, and we, as a family, we didn't want to separate our family. So we moved here in 2014. We just packed our bags, put our things from Kenya in storage, and then after that, we took a flight, came here, and we were supposed to come to Zambia for only 2 years. He was doing rural electrification because he's a project manager with his background being an engineer, electrical engineer. So he's the reason why we came here.
Yes, it was all about love for the Githurai native, a decision that was not as difficult given that Lusaka is extremely accessible with the region enjoying high frequency of international flights, especially from Kenya's national carrier, Kenya Airways.
We have flights going like every day to Kenya, and it's like almost 3 hours or less. So it's easy. It feels like home. Yeah, I don't feel, it's not like America where it's so far, you have to spend so many hours being in the plane. Here, it's just so easy. I can have breakfast here and have lunch at home, if, depending with the flight.
So the beauty with the number of frequencies we have, which is a big plus for us, by the way, it affords you so much connectivity beyond Nairobi. First of all, you can get into Nairobi 13 times in a week, which is very good. It's the highest for any other airline from out of Zambia. And then, of course, we have very good connectivity into, let me start with intra-Africa. What do I mean by intra-Africa? So we have what I would call the East African region. So Entebbe, you can connect twice in a day. We have Dar es Salaam, you also connect twice in a day. Then there's Bujumbura, there's Kigali, and those areas basically. And then of course we have then the Western African route. We're talking about Lagos, we're talking about Accra, we're talking about Abidjan, we're talking about Senegal. And then of course we're in the Southern African region. So our flights also do Lusaka. You can go into Harare because we do a Harare stopover on a daily basis. So that's another option for Southern Africa. And then from Harare you can now go back into Southern Africa. We're talking about Johannesburg, Mozambique, and all those other countries. And then of course we connect into Europe. We have 3 points in Europe, which is Amsterdam. It's a daily flight into Amsterdam, and then we have Paris, also daily, and then of course we have London. And then of course we fly into JFK daily, and then we have Dubai. Actually Dubai you can connect twice out of Lusaka. It's one of the best connectivities we have out of Zambia. And then of course we have now the Asia bit, which is Mumbai. We fly into Mumbai twice weekly, and then Guangzhou in China.
In addition, the Zambian culture also played a huge role in the country's allure.
Zambia is so laid back. You find people here are easy, there's that more respect, there's that kindness as well. Language is quite interesting. So there's quite a lot of words which are the same, like Swahili. So you find if you're in among Zambians and they're having a conversation, you won't be so lost. You will understand so many things. And that's how you tend to appreciate, like niletele manzi. I'm sure you can tell what that means. Bring me water, exactly. It's so easy, apart from major things, especially for major things like mulilo is fire, it's moto. Maji is manzi. Chakula is chakudia. sometimes there's so much limitation around what you're used to. You don't think outside the box if you don't travel. And there's some things, no matter how much you read or you expose yourself watching YouTube and other things, it's always good to travel. You get to see things that nobody can explain to you.
Despite all this positivity, Hannah unfortunately faced an unforeseen challenge, especially with the extension of her husband's project.
I had a lot of time on my side, and trying to convert that time into something valuable was not easy, and especially making peace, because sometimes we do hide facing our reality, either, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm going to see my mother, I'm going where. But now when you're alone, you're forced to make some like really tough decisions, and those decisions will always propel you forward.
This is how Kisasa Kitchen came into being. Located in Kapulonga, southeast of Lusaka, some 8 kilometers from the CBD, Kisasa Kitchen gives a modern take on authentic Zambian and Kenyan cuisine.
The menu is curated by me, and it's a very interesting menu. It's like trying to merge two countries. That is Kenya, where I come from, and Zambia, and just creating amazing dishes. One of the most interesting dishes is the colorful fish, and you will find that we serve it with some vegetables called like chihuahua, which is pumpkin leaves, and then we have sweet potato leaves called kalembla, and when you're in Zambia, we don't call ugali, you call it shima. Yes, it's more softer because it's made with, I think, a bit of time. They give it more time to cook, and that's how we're able to merge the two countries with food. I had really to tone down on my spices, and around that time you get to know how do I incorporate what I find locally. And I love playing around. I love being creative with food. So I love having interesting names around the food that I serve. I love to incorporate something you won't think around, a dish, plain, garnishing food with food. We just recently added things like nyama choma because of people who travel to Kenya, and nyama choma is food that's known a lot from Kenya. But mainly our main food is pilau rice and fish. We also do things like pork chops and other things as well. We also have good cocktails, I should say, and then we have also other things like dawa, which is very Kenyan. But then when you introduce it to, like when I introduced it to Zambia on this side, it was well appreciated and it's loved. And we also have a bar. Yes, yeah, it's not only food. You can also come here and have a drink while you're waiting for your food, or you can come here for a chill. And sometimes we do host people around, whereby we do have interesting events like quiz night. We bring different people who have like an East African touch, or they either schooled there, bring people together, have a good time, and it's such a vibrant place, especially when we're having events.
This is Kisasa's 5th year in the game. Started at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the restaurant was an idea that developed out of passion.
I love food. My background is tourism. I came from working from a tourism industry back in Kenya. I really do appreciate good food, and I love learning. So the whole idea was to just try and document what I was learning in Zambia and what I had, and trying to find a home for my food ideas. So I started like a page on Facebook that grew to become a blog, and all this was driven by my love for food, and also getting to know how we can try to make most of our African food to be healthy. Before, I used to do cooking food at home, and people ordering online, and then they just come and pick, and sometimes we would send the deliveries. When we finally had a physical place, it was quite amazing, just getting to know people that have been ordering food for you for maybe a year or two, getting to know them in person. And then with time, I came to attract quite a lot of expatriates from Kenya. It was challenging, I should say. It was quite challenging, but it was good. And I had a lot of help from my Zambian friends, just asking where do you find certain things, I found a beautiful location. I don't know where to get the tables. All these other things, it has taken like a village to come and help me establish this.
When it comes to ingredients, Hannah says everything is locally sourced.
I have my very close friend has a farm, so I tend to get most of my produce from her, my tomatoes and other things. But I'm also located in a very ideal place in Kablonga, right opposite Melissa supermarket. So meaning I can go straight to the supermarket and get most of the ingredients, because this is where most of the young farmers or small farmers come to sell their produce. And sometimes I love going to the market. So I think sometimes thrice in a week, depending how busy we are and the season we are.
From concept to catering guru, Hannah has successfully made her mark in Zambia's culinary scene, a source of pride for the Nairobi Aviation alumna.
If you're a person who loves to learn, like I do love to learn, it was a good challenge. I loved the fact that I didn't know so much. I think sometimes you have this like blind faith and you trust in God, I'm doing this for a good cause, and I know at the bottom of my heart, I just want to do business and just share what I have with the rest, with the world.
Seems coming to Zambia was the right move for Hannah. Looking at all she's achieved, she is more than content with her decision. And as we conclude, this is her parting shot for anyone thinking of doing the same.
So anybody trying to make a move, first of all, you need to be in the right state of mind, because being away, there's something that we normally take for granted a lot, and that is the support you get from your family. Whether you get along or you don't get along, support you get from your friends. When you're like basically uprooted from your background or what you know, it's normally very hard in the beginning. But now coming out of Kenya and coming to Zambia, that's when I realized what it means to be alone. And there you have to face yourself, or they say face your demons. Even if you're like afraid, just try. And if you want to move out of Kenya and try something new, try to have like support. Try to research as much as you can where you're going, and and pray.
And that's what daring abroad is all about.